This is the pre-lab video for Lab 3, a foodie's dilemma, variability due to the measurement instrument. Make sure that you read the lab manual before you report to lab. You need to read pages 15 through 17. The measuring instrument is the tool used to measure the variable. For example, you could use a tape measure to measure the length of something, or you could use a scale to measure the weight of something, or you could use a survey to ask questions. All of these are the measuring instrument. Variability can result from the measuring instrument itself. In this lab, variability introduced by the measuring instrument is what we explore. What you need to know from lecture to help you with Lab 3. You'll have to calculate the mean. To do that, you add all the values together and divide by the total number of values. And remember that it represents the average or the balance point in the data. You'll also have to calculate the median. To find this, you find the middle number in the data set. There are multiple ways to do that. One way is that if n, the sample size, is odd, then the middle will fall at the n plus 1 over 2 value. If n, the sample size, is even, then the middle falls between two values, and specifically the n over 2 and the n over 2 plus 1 values. Then you would find the average of the two values. Make sure that you have sorted the data before you try to calculate the median. The median does represent the values such that 50% are below or at it, and 50% of the values are above it. You'll also have to calculate the standard deviation, and you'll have to do this by hand, but there's a table that will help you step by step do this. To find the standard deviation, you take the sum of the squared deviations. Find how different each value of x is from the mean, x bar, square those, and then add them up. Divide by n minus 1, and then take the square root. Again, the lab manual, the table that you fill out, does a good job of walking you through step by step on how to find the standard deviation. Keeping in mind that this represents the average distances the observations fall from the mean. The following measurements show variability: the standard deviation, the range, which is the difference between the max and the min, and the interquartile range, which is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. You'll also have to draw a box plot by hand, which simply displays the 5-number summary. Keeping in mind that the 5-number summary is made up of the minimum, the first quartile, the second quartile, the third quartile, and the maximum. To do a box plot, you first draw the box, which consists of 3 vertical lines plotted on the number line at your quartiles. Then you connect the 3 lines with 2 horizontal lines, one on top and one on the bottom, to make it a box. Then you draw what's called the whiskers. Draw a horizontal line from the minimum to the front of the box, and a horizontal line from the maximum to the end of the box. The measuring tool that we use in this lab is 1 cup and 1/3 cup measuring cups. So the purpose is that you're going to assume you want to measure 1 cup of some dry material. Say you're making cookies and you needed to measure out 1 cup of flour. However, you don't have a 1 cup measuring cup, but you do have a 1/3 cup measuring cup. So we're going to explore the variability of the 2 different measuring tools. The first one being a 1/3 cup measuring cup, and the second one being the 1 cup measuring cup. And we're going to see if there's a difference in how much material you get depending on which measuring cup you use. Each measuring tool is going to be used to get 10 different measurements of 1 cup of a solemn item. So you're going to use the 1 cup measuring cup and scoop out. And you're going to use 3 1/3 cup measuring cups, because remember, you need to make a cup. And the question is going to be, will it make a difference if you use 3 1/3 cups rather than just 1 cup? Don't forget that you're going to need to completely fill in the tables and the figures from pages 19 through 21 in addition to the questions in order to get full credit for your lab. When you turn in your lab report, you need to make sure that all tables and figures from pages 19 through 21 are completely filled in. If you're missing anything in those tables, then you will be deducted points. Also, don't forget to do your pre-lab quiz.